Behind the fishermen, the only hotel directly on the lake, not in downtown Lake Geneva. That's called the Geneva Inn. Pretty place. There's 40 rooms thereabouts, half of which have a direct lake view. And below it, the first level, that is a restaurant with a terraced floor. Everybody gets a view. It doesn't seem to matter where you sit. You can see the bay. By the way, this is Buttons Bay, named for a local horticulturist who lived up here, Alexander Buttons.
Terry, sino iniisip mo?
The roadway years ago, that was Highway 120. That's bypassed this area now. That's further east, that's where Walmart is and so forth. That's just now kind of South Shore Drive. Behind the cars is the state park. Bigfoot Beach State Park. He was one of the Potawatomi chieftains, Bigfoot. Between the roadway and the trees, there's a lagoon there. If you drive down that road, you'll see it. If you look at it closely, lo and behold, it's the same shape as this lake. One of the owners years ago kind of reshaped the waters. It's not exact, but if you look on a Google map, it's pretty close. Some people call this lake kind of looks like a peanut, or it kind of looks like a fish with a dorsal. Very unique shape. I don't see a boat tied up there today, but in the springtime, when the early winds here are east off the lake, it's cold, and boats like to pull right up by that, right by the roadway. It's shallow. You throw your anchor out, so you're wind blocked, and you can socialize. And some people even order something delivered from town because they'll come out and they'll meet you on the roadway. But you can't really park there. How many people here read the book The Devil in the White City? Any readers here? Yeah. Boy. I bring it up because the Great World's Fair of Chicago of 1893 never was outdone. That was as good as it ever got. That area today would be Jackson Park, Museum of Science and Industry. That was the Fine Arts Building. It's really the only large building that survived. The world's art collections wouldn't let their priceless items go on display unless it was put in a fireproof building, and that's why it's still there. Most of the buildings were just meant to be there for the one was from May to October. And then they started demolishing, and some of the buildings were removed, and a few ended up here. One of which I'm going to tell you about. It's called Salon Court, and it's long, long gone. I'm not sure where it stood. It was a replica of a Buddhist temple, wooden sides, finished mahogany, just like this bar. This is mahogany. Had an orange tile roof. The original owner was one of the original owners, John Mitchell. He was president of Continental Bank of Chicago. He had a wife named Louise, and they had a steam yacht named in her honor. That boat will be right next to us when we tie back up at the pier. You'll see it. The boat built in 1902. In later years, Frederick Maytag owned that old house. It was right here where these big homes up on the hill. That's where it was. At some point, it became unsellable, and it was decided to knock it down, but the fire departments used it for a practice burn down. Some of the content was hauled away and is on display at the Lake Geneva Museum over on Wells Street. For a small town with a small museum, they've got quite the collection. So that's where it stood. I think we all know about Andy's Candies, those little after-dinner mints. One of those is usually enough. And that man who created it lived right here. His name was George Canellis. This was his summer home, right behind the flagpole. Those were produced in nearby Delavan.
She's gonna punch me.
mostly single-family homes here, of course, on the lake. Here's a couple condominiums, first of which is called Somerset. They've got that beautiful gazebo there on the water's edge. Look at the view from there. If you kind of look to your left, this is about the longest view you can obtain on this lake. That's 7 miles all the way to that fuzzy west end.
I never
Fun.
been either.
I've never
And just ahead, another condominium called Vista del Lago, high on the hill with the blue canopies and the white stripe on them. Vista del Lago, view of the lake. Some pier company has a contract to remove all that, and boy, that is massive. All the boats are up on motorized lifts. A boat that's in water all the time gets sloshed around. It's hard on the boat, the lines, the piers, the boathouse.